Sam Spiegelman with Rivals here with Rivals 250 wide receiver Ketron Jackson out of Royce City. What's going on, Ketron? How you doing, man?
I'm doing good, just maintaining while in this quarantine.
It's a hard time, right? Like we
Yeah.
didn't expect any of this, and we don't know how long we're going to be doing this, and we don't know when we'll be playing football again. Not me, but you. But
Yeah.
what's the biggest kind of takeaway from being inside for so many weeks for you?
Just like, I'm missing spring ball, missing 7-on-7 ball. Like it's just like I'm missing a lot of football. I don't really like that or track too.
Yeah, this is the time of the year where we go out to all these 7-on-7 tournaments and watch you kind of dominate and getting ready for spring ball, going out to Royce City to see you do your thing. And we're kind of getting the short end of the stick, having to just basically Zoom call each other and say hi and how you doing, right?
Yeah.
Let's get into a little bit. I mean, obviously, you're one of the best wide receivers in Texas, one of the best wide receivers in the country, which is why we're doing this Zoom conference. What does a four-star wide receiver like yourself do to kind of stay in shape, stay busy during this time of quarantine?
Well, like, usually like since we don't have to like we have the privilege of going out and going to school and work out, okay. I just work out in my room and I go outside and I run a couple miles. I try to run like a certain point of miles each week, and then I just keep like doing like body weight stuff in the house just to keep myself like up to date and not get lazy or not get too out of shape and stuff like this, so I can come back on top of my game.
I've been thinking about running for a little bit too, but I am way too out of shape. What how many miles have you been running each day?
Probably like a mile or two a day. Not just like a whole bunch, but try to at least like get my legs under me so I won't just be like when I get back out or like when this stuff do overpass, I won't be out of shape or I won't be like far behind.
Well, I mean, that's for physical stuff, but what about like mentally? How do you kind of stay ready? Because like you said, I mean, probably not going to have spring ball. I mean, it seems like we're not. We don't know if we'll even have a season, but how do you kind of stay focused? I mean, waking up every morning to just go run a few miles is one thing, but how do you kind of stay positive that you'll have your senior season at Royce City and you'll be getting back on the field to showcase your skills in a couple of months?
I just always try to think positive because like through these times I just been thinking about the future a lot. Like this stuff happening and you just like it makes you sit at home and you have to think about stuff. So I just think about the future and I just like I hope and pray and I just go over like a lot of film. Like I'll watch receivers that I like or that's in the college or pros and I'll just take like mental reps like that, like watch myself or I'll go with my trainer and get some reps in just so like I can know like my mental reps will still be me watching film or me watching my film from last week. Like last week, I had a coach from college that's helped me. I watched like we watched like all my receptions from the year, like all my targets and stuff, and I just watched and see like what I did wrong and what I did right. So I just try to take a lot of mental reps as I can while I'm in the house.
You said you watched your tape a lot. You said you watched some like current receiver. What are some of your big takeaways from watching your tape? I love your tape. I think obviously based on the rankings, we see how high you are on Rivals. What are some of your takeaways from watching your own tape? What you could do better? What you appreciated about your game? And then what receivers are you watching to try to improve your craft before your senior season?
I watched like my favorite receiver in the draft would probably be Jerry Judy. Just how he can get off the ball and run routes. So I just I watch my film and I'm impressed, but I'm not just like too happy. Like I just know I could do better than what I did last year. Like last year is like it was a better season for my sophomore year, but it wasn't a good season to me. So it's just always something I can improve on. Like when I see like when I how would I say this like my highlights or like just watching my film, like my route running can get better and me high pointing the ball can get better. So, but me like with the ball in my hands, I think I do great things with the ball in my hands. Just me running routes and catching the ball more fluidly would be my main thing.
Those are two of my favorite aspects of your game too. How you high point the football and then just just get the ball to you anyway and just see what you can do in space. It's kind of a scary thing. And I've even tweeted out some footage of your clips because it's mind blowing at times for sure. Obviously, you talked about watching your film with some college coaches. What has it been like getting recruited, via Zoom calls like this and FaceTime and DM? I know you're used to it during dead periods, but what has this been like adjusting? Because you should be on campus. I know you got to go on a couple of visits, but what has it been like having to communicate all like this?
I mean, it's been okay, but like it's just like it'd be like especially like if you get recruited, like if you're like a top player or like you're a good player and you get recruited, it's just like you talk to many coaches throughout the day. During the time like you can go down and see them and stuff like that. But now it's just like it's everything virtually. So like they send me more stuff like about the campus like through videos and stuff like that because I can't really see it or I can't go up there. So it's like it's just a lot. I just try to like look at it, and I get on FaceTime where I talk to a lot of coaches, like the coaches that's recruiting me. I talk to them and chop it up with them every few days or not.
How many coaches do you think that you're like having these Zoom calls or FaceTime calls with? And you mentioned like these virtual campus tours. Have you seen anything during like a virtual tour or like them sending you stuff that has kind of caught your attention?
Yeah, who was it? It was Arkansas. They sent me like just because I think Arkansas got like a new facility or Jerry Jones Center because Jerry Jones he bought it for them or whatever. So I went down to see that center in person, and I still see it, like, still see the campus and stuff. They send me virtual tours and, like, stuff like Illinois. The Coach Stoker, he sent me, well, he actually showed me when he was on FaceTime, like, the new stuff that they got. And, like, a lot of stuff, a lot of coaches, they send me a lot of videos. It really do be catching my attention because of the new stuff that they got.
Illinois is kind of a trek from the Dallas area. So do you kind of appreciate being able to get a virtual tour without having to go to an airport or get into a rental car and go to Illinois?
I mean, yeah, I like it like that, but I was just like me and Coach talked about it. I was planning on coming out there. I'm probably still planning on coming out there, but I mean, it's nice to see it like on camera, cause like it could just be nice like when it's in HD clear view, like you can really just see it, like it's almost like you're there.
Right. What other coaches have you gotten a chance to talk to? I know that you mentioned Arkansas. I know that you got to visit the Hill kind of right before this coronavirus dead period. You talked about Illinois. What other coaches are you kind of communicating with, or who has done a good job kind of communicating with you virtually?
Uh, Coach Coach Munoz from Baylor, Coach Kelly from TCU, and there's just been Coach Lubbock from Nebraska, and it's a few more. It's Coach Herman from Texas head coach. He's kept in contact with me, and it's been Coach Nix from Ole Miss. There's been quite a few though. That's just to name a few.
I know you mentioned Coach Herman. Y'all got a Texas offer right before this coronavirus stuff. What has it been like communicating with Coach Herman, virtually?
Uh, it's actually been great. We had a conversation. It was just like he was wishing like this could be over so he can get me up here because I just got recruited or offered by them, and he wanted me to come up and see the school and stuff. But like before all this happened, so I was going to, but he was just like he's gonna make it the best when I come over. When all this end, hopefully all this end, he's gonna make it the best trip I ever been on when I come back. So
Well, that's
it was good.
exciting.
Yeah.
You
'Cause
definitely
he was
want this quarantine to end then.
Yeah, he was kind of down. He was kind of down that it started. So I was just like, don't be down. Like I'll still come by and see the place and stuff like that. So he was just like, I just made his day by saying that. So he was
What
just like,
has this like virtual recruiting kind of given you the idea of like what schools you definitely want to visit as soon as it's all over? Like, has it been kind of helping you kind of narrow down I mean, you got 20, 30 options. I mean, has it helped you kind of narrow the field down a little bit?
it has. I just like been looking at like talking to the coaches about like recruiting wise, who they're recruiting, who they already have there and stuff like that. So I know like what's my position or like where I'm at with the school. So like that's why I'll be looking at like how like if I can come in and play as a true freshman, or like is there some people there that I would have to play behind? That's always an important factor, especially like if someone like me, like I want to play early, so it's just like I go in there and think like talk to them about that. So I mean, it definitely helps. It's right now. It's definitely helping me with my choice because I get to talk to a lot of coaches. And they tell me about like how's the recruiting going and tell me what I need to find out from other coaches or what I need to find out from them, and they help me. And I just go look it up, or I go ask the coaches how the recruitment is going.
I'll let you go on this, and I appreciate your time, Katron. What has
Mhm.
been the most, I guess, unique or interesting way that a coach has tried to catch your attention during this virtual recruitment? Has it been like a virtual tour, or has someone done something kind of a little bit out of the ordinary to kind of grab your attention?
Um, they didn't send me some good graphics, like
Okay.
with my school team football photo. They didn't send me a few good graphics with them, and I didn't actually got into a Texas A&M did a Madden tournament.
Right.
Yeah, so it was just a few unique ways that coaches was trying to talk to me, and one another unique is I actually played Oregon State coach, wide receiver coach Keith Ince. I actually played him in Madden, so we have like a thing going back to back in Madden. So I mean, it's fun.
How'd you do against him?
I beat him. I beat him twice.
Was it close?
The first time it wasn't close. It was like 35-14. Then the second time it was like I think I beat him by like a touchdown or two.
How'd you do in the tournament with the A&M coaches?
I won my first game, but like I think like the tournament, I don't know what happened. I think some people wasn't playing, so I think the tournament just stopped or
Oh,
something like that.
who was the best player in that tournament?
Uh, I don't know. Some of the coaches was talking a lot, so like they was the best. So I don't know. I just can't wait to play him. I want to play him in person.
That we want you to play football in person. That's what we're all hoping for, man. I appreciate the time, man. You stay well during this quarantine. We can't wait to play some see you play some real football in a couple of months.
Yes, sir.